I'm Trina.
I'm Jayrod, and this is a little bit about our story, I guess.
Look at it, it's still moving. Still moving.
There you go.
Fix my hair for this video. Okay, hey, that worked a little.
A little stiff.
Watch and subscribe.
Thank you. You know, we've been married 22 years, and we've had a lot of issues we've dealt with, including alcohol, drug addiction, suicide loss, and some normal blended family issues too. And, you know, just some different things. But no matter what, thank goodness, we've both been willing to stick those out. You know, a lot of times when people get married, especially women, probably more so, I don't know, have it in their head that it's going to be this fairy tale life, you know, and things have to be a certain way. And, you know, but we have to remember that we're blending two different lives, two different backgrounds together. And it takes a lot of work to actually make a marriage work. And, you know, as you go through a lot of issues in marriage, you just have to be willing to work through them. So,
without sprinkling all these extra things in there. Just a plain marriage. You marry your high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's
but then you have
difficult
all
enough.
these extra things that we've had a lot of extra things that have snuck their heads in, you know, in different aspects of our life, which we will talk about. This will probably take a couple of videos just because there's a lot we can share with all of you that we've made it through that I think is very valuable information.
And part of the reason why we're doing this video is, A, that you can get to know us better.
For our channel, for our On the Road with
For our
Jayrod and
channel and
Trina.
that. And the other part is we've just moved here to Orlando, Florida. And we're running short on some of our travel content because of obviously a move and that and stuff. And I am now managing my daughter's ranch down here in Orlando, and I could show you a lot of that, but we're very limited to what we could show you there because my daughter is a very famous influencer. She's got 6 million Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah.
She streams for Facebook. She's paid by Facebook and other things. And so we have to be very careful about location and showing things in our videos that could disclose. We've already had kind of a weird story. We already had a stalker here. My daughter happened to be out with her friends here. I was on the ranch here by myself, and a guy walks through her garage and says, "Is Trina here?" Well, my daughter's property is bought not through her name. If my daughter didn't want me to know where she lived, I would have not known where she lived. And B, it's gated, and you had to know the code to get through the gate. So when he come through, I wasn't completely shocked. He looked like he could possibly be a friend of hers and that, and I look at him and I realize he's stocking foot, and we're outside. I'm watching a football game outside, and some flags started going up a little bit. I started questioning them, and the questions were coming out a little odd. So that at that point I called my daughter and I'm like, "Hey, there's a," and she's like, "Who?" And I'm like, so I put them on, and I could tell my daughter was terrified, and she was very, very terrified. She said, "Can I have my dad?" And she puts it on, and she's almost crying. because part of this move was here so she could have some anonymity. And she says, Dad, call the cops. And I said, I can't, honey, but you need to on your end. I didn't want to disclose that the gig was up for this guy. I didn't know what he was about to do. So she said, okay. And I said, all right, I'll talk to you in a few. I looked at the guy and I said, hey, I need to go to my truck and get something out of my truck real quick. And I did. I came back with my pistol. And at that time he looked at me and he says, oh, I don't want any problems. And I'm like, there isn't going to be any problems. You're going to sit right there until the police get here. And at any rate, the dude has some serious mental issues. His own father had called and disclosed that on his way out that he feared for my daughter and he feared for his son. So when your father calls and the police himself, because he can't find his son and he thinks he's doing this, that you know the guy is not up to any good, or at least he was concerned of what capabilities they have. So that is part of the reason why we're doing this little segment, A, to you to get to know us, and B, until we can kind of get the traveling part of ours back up and running. We just went to Tampa for a day here, and then we're going to be visiting some locations around here, and so we will be getting our travel content back up.
Yeah, but with us just moving, and now with the holidays, this week we're going back up north to Wisconsin in just 2 days.
In 2 days.
For the holidays. So, we won't be doing any big travels right now, but we will be after, the first again. We'll be making some visits to some different places.
Back to our story, I just wanted to kind of share with you why we're doing this type of video instead of our normal video.
Yes.
And first, I would start out by saying I'm 52 years old, and I've been married to this lovely woman for 22 years.
And I'm 49 years old.
49. I guess we could start out by how we came to meet each other. I was working for a company in Rockford, Illinois, and they gave me a budget to go out and start a company within the company. And long story short, I needed a person to work data, and that person was not in my budget. So my boss suggested that we hire that out. And so we contacted a company that my wife was vice president of at the time. And that's kind of how we met, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So I started pouring on the charm. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you did.
The first time I met her, I'm like, this is the future Mrs. Morris. She didn't know that. I flirted with her. I sent her messages. I gave every excuse to call her and try and figure out, how I could get her to come down and do all these things. But I finally got the call that I was waiting for out of them after business hours, asking me what I was doing that weekend. Immediately, I said, nothing. I was for sure she was going to ask me out. No, she set me up with her sister.
Yes. I was dating someone at the time. But I thought you were good looking and a fun guy.
So anyway, she set me up with her sister. Her sister did not like me that much. We didn't mesh very well. But, so we didn't date for I actually went out probably on 1 or 2 dates. But I still had an ongoing business relationship with her. And she was coming out and training one of my guys to do the data work and stuff, and I'd take her out to lunch, and we just got to be friends like that. I was trying to smooze her with my dog had puppies, and what woman wouldn't just melt over puppies, right? I didn't know that she hated dogs.
I don't hate dogs.
She doesn't hate dogs, but she's petrified of them.
Certain dogs, yes.
But at any rate, I thought I was really pouring on the charm, but come to find out it wasn't. But at any rate, I think it was kind of you that asked me out.
Well, the boyfriend I was seeing and I broke up.
Yeah.
We broke up, and then you and I went on a lunch date, and then we ended up switching numbers.
Yeah. The only thing you wanted to be assured is that me and her sister didn't do the deed or whatever.
Which you didn't, so.
Which we never progressed that far.
So I was like, okay, well, we could probably date.
Yeah.
Or, that's not quite how it all happened, but.
Kind of close.
Pretty close. We just started talking all the time and realized, whoa, we have a lot more to talk about than we thought. Or than I thought.
Yeah. And so the first date, we went to
an AA dance.
Yeah. Long story short, I thought she was a little bit confused because I knew what an alcoholic looked like. And that was Otis Campbell on Mayberry, who would put himself in jail. And there was no way that she was AA, but, I was going to humor her at the time. Little did I know
that I was a recovering full-fledged alcoholic and a drug addict.
But
at the time I had 4 years sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, probably about 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So at any rate,
I had 2 children, 2 young boys at the time, and I had already been divorced. And at that time, I was 27 years old, and.
What are you, 27?
Yeah, I had had Andrew at the age of 16, right after I turned 16, and I had had Christopher at the age of 19.
You were younger than 27.
Maybe. We met in 97. Oh, 25. I was 25.
Yeah. When I was 29.
Yes. Well, you were 29 when we got married. I was 25 when we started dating. So you were 27. We're only like 2 years apart.
Are we only 2 years? No, we were 3 years. You were 72. I'm 69.
I know, but when we met, I don't know. Okay.
How we made it 22 years, I don't know. But that is how we came to meet each other. Was she fixed me up on a blind date, or not a blind date. I actually knew what her sister looked like. Very good looking woman in that, but she set me up on a date with her sister. But that's how we ended up dating. And I told her also at our first date that if she had no interest in getting married, she better not say yes to a next date, because I'm positive I'm going to marry you. Which we did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I got to, it was the first time in my life I actually got to know someone of the opposite sex for a long period of time without complicating it with extracurricular activities, let's put it.
Yes, because I was trying to live a different life at that time, with just the past that I had with the alcohol and drugs, and so I wasn't, needless to say, jumping right into bed with anybody.
No. I did get to second base the first night.
Okay. Well.
Well, maybe it wasn't the first. That doesn't matter.
No.
We'll probably bleep that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got married. I had a daughter. She was...
Well, she was 1.5 when we started dating. Yeah. She was 14 months.
She was 14 months. Like she said, she had 2 boys. The boys' father was not active in their life, so I was therefore the father of the house. He would come and go and breeze in and breeze out, but for the most part, he wasn't really active in their lives.
No, and when we started dating, they were 6 and 9.
What did I say?
Nothing. You
Oh.
didn't say an age.
Okay. Yeah, 6 and 9. So,
So we had 6, 9, and 1.5 when we started dating.
correct. And the kids got along good together. In fact, our 6 and our daughter really bonded and were very close to each other.
Yes. Yep.
And of course, a 9-year-old doesn't have a lot of interest in a 1.5-year-old girl. So he wasn't quite as close, but he was super close to his brother. So he was kind of the glue, our middle son, Christopher.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Give us a
anyway.
huge thumbs up.